sponsored by Wood County Hospital.
Hello everybody, Josh Krupp, 13 Action News, coming to you here live on this Friday afternoon with our continuing coverage of talks to try and get President Joe Biden to step aside and pass the torch at the top of the Democratic Party's ticket for President of the United States. He will be formally nominated, at least as of now, next month at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. How about in Ohio? What are we hearing on the ground from members of Congress? Well, the latest today, Greg Landsman from Southwest Ohio called on the president to step aside and let somebody else run the campaign against former President Donald Trump, who last night formally accepted his party's nomination for president. Sherrod Brown, United States Senator, a Democrat from Ohio, is up for re-election, faces a tough re-election bid here in a state that Donald Trump won by 8 points twice. A question that Sherrod Brown is facing, continues to face, is does he think that President Biden should step aside? It's a question that he really hasn't answered directly, but we were able to pose it to him again today. And once again, he wouldn't say if he wants President Biden off the ballot, but he did say that Democrats need to resolve all of these talks sooner rather than later. Here is Senator Sherrod Brown responding to that question today from reporters during a stop at a Wood County manufacturing camp. This is also a video from that visit today by the senator to Perrysburg. And then on the other side of this, we'll also hear him respond to the assassination attempt on former President Trump and what he thinks about Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, and the pick that the former president made.
Where are you at with that?
Well, I hear people, people have legitimate concerns. I'm listening to those. We've got to resolve this, I hope, in the next few days. However, it's resolved so that we can get back to work. But this has been a distraction for what we ought to be working on. Job creation and manufacturing camps like these and Lake Erie issues and all that people in Northwest Ohio care about.
What's your advice to President Biden?
Well, I just want it resolved. I don't really want to be a pundit, and particularly here because I'm here for the manufacturing camps, but I want it resolved so we can all get back to the work we should be doing, running the country in the right way.
If he's asked to step down, would you back whoever is?
Yeah, I will. I'm a Democrat, and I will vote for the Democrat. I think that, again, I'm not going to be a pundit today. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if he steps down. I don't know how it's going to be determined. We haven't had this in American history anytime that I remember.
But you sense it will be resolved soon.
I think it has to be resolved soon. There's too many things. I go back to Washington next week. We have budgets to pass. We have judges to confirm. We have my job as chair of the Banking Housing Committee, making sure we help TARTA, making sure we help public transit, making sure we focus more on housing. Too many young people can't buy a home because they can't come up with a down payment and pay the mortgage. So my job is how do we figure out how to do that so that especially young people can get in their first home and build the kind of wealth that they can pass on to the next generation.
Senator Sherrod Brown there talking about whether or not he thinks that President Biden should step down. Again, didn't really directly address the question, but does say that these things need to get resolved sooner rather than later. Quick break here, 30 seconds. We'll be back and talk about what his response was to the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump and what he thinks of J.D. Vance being selected as Trump's running mate.
At the Center for Weight Loss Surgery at Wood County Hospital, we're by your side before, during, and after your surgery. In fact, with medical and surgical options, diet and exercise counseling, and behavioral therapy, we're here to support you during your entire weight loss journey. It's why our patient satisfaction rating is nearly 100%, and why we're a leader in the field. At Wood County Hospital, we're more than your surgical team.
We're part of your life.
Back live here above our studios here on Dorr Street in Toledo. Gorgeous Friday afternoon. Not far south of us here in Toledo, down in Perrysburg, U.S. Senator Sherrod Brown visiting today a manufacturing camp there. We just heard him talk about his thoughts about President Joe Biden, whether or not he should step aside. Didn't again directly answer that. He said he does want to see these conversations resolved, though, in a matter of the next few days. We also were able to ask him what he thought about the assassination attempt on former President Trump as he calls for investigations into what went wrong. Here is what he said.
I've talked to a number of police officers who can't quite believe that there was that failure. I don't know. I'm not here to point fingers. Was it the Secret Service? Was it Department of Homeland Security? Was it local police? Was it? I don't know, but I know that there is no place. We're grateful that the former president, was not injured badly, and he can go back to work. There should be no place for that kind of violence, and I want to see an independent investigation, not people trying to gain politically from this. Independent investigation of what really happened, that the shooter, it sounds like, was that close and had that kind of angle, should never have happened.
On Monday, members of Congress will hear from the Secret Service director directly, along with members of local and state law enforcement in Pennsylvania, about what went wrong. Sherrod Brown there, you heard him calling for an independent investigation. Finally, we were able to ask him again during this, right after this trip to Wood County Manufacturing summer camp for kids there in Perrysburg. We asked him what he thinks about J.D. Vance, because he gets to work with Vance. He's his colleague in Ohio in the U.S. Senate. Asked him what he thinks about Donald Trump selecting J.D. Vance to be at the top of the ticket. Here's what he said.
My thoughts on J.D. Vance is he and I work together. It's my job. I worked with Senator Portman and Senator Voinovich, whether it's a Lake Erie issue or with Senator Vance now. It's about East Palestine, what we need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again and bring people's lives back to normal there. So I don't have a lot of thoughts about his being on the ticket. My thoughts are, as long as he's in the Senate, I will continue to work for Ohio with him.
President Biden is under a lot more pressure lately.
All right, so there is Senator Sherrod Brown talking about J.D. Vance, his colleague in the Senate. If you're just joining us and you did miss him talking about what he thinks about President Biden, you can go back and rewatch this special report here on Action News Now after it is concluded here on Facebook, and then again on our streaming platforms and our website later today. While you're over at our website, if you want to instead read some of his comments, we have all of those in a web story. It's up on our homepage right now, talking about Sherrod Brown's visit to Northwest Ohio today, to Perrysburg and to Wood County, and all of his thoughts about recent developments here with the former president and the current president. That's going to do it here on Action News Now. I'm Josh Krupp. More news coming up today, 4 o'clock. Top of the hour officially, as we just crossed 3 o'clock here in Toledo. We'll see you on TV coming up later today at 4 o'clock.
At the Center for Weight Loss Surgery at Wood County Hospital, we're by your side before, during, and after your surgery. In fact, with medical and surgical options, diet and exercise counseling, and behavioral therapy, we're here to support you during your entire weight loss journey. It's why our patient satisfaction rating is nearly 100%, and why we're a leader in the field. At Wood County Hospital, we're more than your surgical team.
We're part of your life.